about drink, he talking about the punishment. See, verse 18, he say, verse 17, he say, then I took a cup at the Lord's hand and made all the nations to drink unto whom the Lord had sent me. So this is pretty much an angel saying he gonna make these other nations drink of the cup. But verse 18 say the cities of Judah and the kings thereof and princes thereof to make them desolate and astonishment and a curse as it is this day. So he said he did it to Jerusalem. I don't own the copyright to this music. I do not own the copyright to this music. I repeat, I do not own the copyright to this music. Now in verse 26, he say all the kingdoms of the world gonna have to pay, gonna have to go through a punishment, just like the Israelites did. Okay, 27. He said, therefore thou shalt say unto them, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, drink ye, and be drunken, and spew and fall, and raise no more, because of the sword which I will send among you. 28. And it shall be, if they refuse to take the cup at your hand to drink, then shall the Lord say unto them, ye shall certainly drink. 29. For lo, I began to bring evil on the city which is called by my name. See, only the Israelites was called by God's name that he gave to them. He gave them the name of Israel because his name was Jacob. His name wasn't Israel. He gave him the name Israel. So he say, I began to bring evil on the city which is called by my name, and should ye be utterly unpunished? So he said, I punish my people, the Israelites, and you think you gonna get away with being wicked? See, the Israelites broke the laws, but also these other nations was never given the laws, and they was doing all kind of wickedness. He said, do y'all think y'all just gonna go unpunished? Y'all can just do whatever y'all want to do, and y'all don't go into slavery. Y'all don't be in the cotton field picking cotton for these other nations. Y'all don't be working at these people's job, sun up to sun down, letting them get rich off of you and your children. He said, ye shall not be unpunished, for I will call for a sword upon all the inhabitants of the earth, says the Lord. So every last heathen, every last non-Israelite, you got to go in the cotton field. You got to be on these people's job working from sun up to sun down. See, when you look at the wealth situation in America and in the whole world, they cementing this wealth. This wealth gonna be cemented and concentrated and permanent in their family. It's gonna pass down to their son. Their son gonna pass it down to his son or their daughter, and they gonna keep passing it down. It's not gonna go when they die, then the wealth go to some other people. No, that wealth gonna stay in their family, and they got the wealth from slaving these Israelites. That's how you got the wealth. You didn't get the wealth because you was working hard. You didn't get the wealth because you was so smart. You didn't get the wealth because you was so intelligent and you came up with the right formula. You didn't get the wealth because you was just strong and had the most endurance. No, you got the wealth because God punished his people and gave them the punishment that it's going to be a stranger amongst y'all that was going to get above y'all, and y'all going to go to him to borrow your money, to get what you need. Let's go right back to that, because they are not going to go unpunished. So let's look at some of these punishments that they're going to get. Now let me get Deuteronomy 30:7. It says, and the Lord your God will put all these curses upon your enemies and on them that hate you and which them that persecute you. So all of these punishment by being in the cotton field, by being miseducated, by being on the low end of the situation, that's going to be the punishment of these Edomites and all these other nations who never went through the punishment. You got to go through the punishment with the rest of them. See, we had to go through the punishment. You got to go through the punishment. Our Savior is for us. When you look up Messiah, it say the Savior of the Jews, the King of the Jews, not the King of the world. If you say the King of the world, you telling a bold-faced lie. Now let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and 48. This is what these heathens gonna have to do, and it's gonna be in a different kind of setup because, you know, we gonna get them their own land after a while. But initially, this is what's gonna pop off. Deuteronomy 28. It say 28 and 48. Therefore shalt thou serve your enemies, which the Lord shall send against you, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. So these other nations, these heathens, they're gonna have to go into this punishment. They're not gonna get away with nothing. They're not gonna go unpunished, as Jeremiah said. And that yoke of iron gonna be that rod of iron. See, let's get that in Revelation real quick. Real quick, to let it be known. Yahweh Shah, who they ignorantly called Jesus Christ, this is what he said in Revelation. He's saying the same thing Deuteronomy said, because he was a master of the law. He gonna bring the law out and magnify the law. Let's see how he magnified the law. It says, and he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nation. See, he gonna give power over the nation. They're not gonna be equal with the nation. They're not gonna be holding hands with the nation. They're not gonna be frolicking around some utopia, everybody holding hands and being equal. No. He said, I will give him power over the nation. 27. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. As the vessel of a potter shall they be broken into shivers. See, that Revelation 2:25, that's not the only place. Let's get another prophet. Prophet Micah, chapter 4. Let's see. Micah chapter 4, verse 13, it says, arise and thrust, O daughter of Zion, for I will make your horn iron, and I will make your hooves brass, and thou shalt beat in pieces many people. See, the nation of Israel, man, when they get that rod of iron, woo, it's going to be a major situation. See, when the nation of Israel get that rod of iron, it's going to be the real deal. Now, that was Micah 4 and 13. Okay. So these other nations, they're not going to get away with the punishment. Let's see here. And let's make it clear. Isaiah gonna make it real clear. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 2, it say, and the people shall take them. Let's start at 1. Isaiah 14 and 1. And the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will choose Israel and set them in their own land. See, because we in the land of the so-called white man and these other nations. The United Nations, they govern these lands. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Verse 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, who captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. So the Israelites is going to rule over their oppressors. The Israelites is going to rule over their slave master. Look who the slave, look at what he's talking about, verse 4. It says, thou shalt take up this parable against the king of Babylon, and say, how have the oppressor ceased, and the golden city ceased. What is the golden city? See, the golden city is America. The golden city ain't China, it ain't the Vatican, it ain't Europe, it ain't Africa. The golden city is the United States of America, the so-called greatest city in the world. Why? Because they got rich off of slavery. And they still working their peoples for nothing. Now, let's see here. What else we got? Let me get Zechariah. Zechariah 14. Oh no, let me get Isaiah first. Isaiah 49, I think. Okay, it say, this Isaiah 49 and 23. It say, the kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers. They shall bow down to thee with their face towards the earth, and lick up the dust of your feet. And you shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh. For they shall not be ashamed that wait for me. So this is the punishment that these other nations gonna go through, because them bowing down ain't even compared to what these dragons was doing to us in hardcore slavery. It's still hardcore slavery now, because you don't even get to see these dragons. You don't even get to walk by them. They living in a whole nother world. But back then, if you was close vicinity to the dragon, you ain't finna look them in the face. They gonna say, look down. What you looking at, nigger? They gonna talk all kind of reckless stuff to you. You can't smile at their woman. They might put you to death. If you smile, whistle, do anything toward their woman, you gonna be hanging on a tree. See, you didn't play no games with these people. You was pretty much have to bow down. You have to be like, yes sir, master, and like the Chinese people. When the Chinese people see somebody, they bow down. See, the Chinese people, they bow down, and they like this. That's how a Negro was doing on the plantation. Anywhere in the city, he, yes sir, master, he acting like Sambo. Now, and this verse here, Yahweh shall let it be known exactly who these dragons was, man. Revelation 2. Now, I don't own the copyright to this music. I don't own the copyright. Revelation 2 and 9, it say, I know thy works, and tribulation, and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews, and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. See, these Edomites, the so-called white men, they say, oh, we the Israelites, we from the tribe of Judah. They'll tell you anything. They walk up and say, oh, we from the tribe of Levi. And you not from no tribe of Levi, man. You ain't never stepped on a slave ship. You ain't never have to pick no cotton. See, you ain't never been captured from your homeland, cause you never stayed in your homeland. You went to rape, robbing, and murder ever since your existence. That Codan the barbarian, that's the real life of an Edomite. See, they always just was roaming, barbarian. They going to bogart somebody else's land and steal all their resources and hit the road. Take some of the women, kill some of the children, kill some of the men, and they hit it. Bam! They done took all the goods and they go back to their land. They always been barbarians, just rape, robbing, and murdering everybody's stuff. They never had a homeland where somebody gonna come in and take them captives and make them slaves. So they gonna call themselves a Jew. You can't be no Jew, man. You got to be a slave to be a Jew. The Jews were slaves in multiple captivities. The Assyrians, they had them in slavery. The Babylonians had them in slavery. The Greeks had them in slavery. The Romans had them in slavery. You can't be no Jew if you ain't went into slavery. You got to be a slave to be a Jew. So when you look at 3 and 9, look at what it say. Behold, this Revelation 3 and 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before your feet, and to know that I have loved you. So these dragons is not going to get away with the punishment, from the punishment. Because the punishment is coming, but they ain't going to get away from the punishment. You got to go into that cotton field. You got to go serve the Israelites. Let me get one more. Let's get some of the things that they're going to be doing. Let's get some of these punishments and some of these activities that they're going to be doing. Isaiah 60 and 10, it say, and the sons of strangers shall build up your walls, and your kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. Verse 11, therefore thy gates shall be open continuously. They shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. See, that we gonna bring their king, whoever their king is, and we know who their kings is. These red dragons over there in all these other lands are building bunkers, like Bill Gates, the prime example. He's known as a rich Edomite. In all his lands, he got $5 million bunkers on his properties, because he got multiple properties. He got bunkers on them properties because somebody done told him what's going on. See, he a part of the elite class. He know what's going on, and he know the punishment coming. He know ain't no getting away from the punishment. You gonna serve his punishment that's coming. And look at what verse 12, this, Isaiah 60 and 12. It says, for the nation and kingdom that will not serve shall perish. See, if they buck up and say that, man, we ain't going to no slavery, we ain't serving nobody, you gonna be put to death, man. Ain't gonna be no you not gonna go into slavery. See, they bucking up now. That's why they say in Psalms 2, why do the heathen rage? See, they enraged now. They saying, man, the prophets bringing out that we got to go into slavery. I do not own the copyright to this music. I repeat, I do not own the copyright to this music. I got to read that verse again, because this is the issue with these people. You got the so-called black woman. She want to save the slave master. She want to save her slave master. He always put the black woman up as big mama in the plantation. See, when they had a plantation, the black woman got her behind up in there. She telling everybody what to do. You niggas better do this and you niggas better do that. Because master, I'm going to tell master on your behind. And if you don't do what master say, he going to tear your behind up. See, he always prop her up to do his business like a pit bull. You better do what master say. Now look at what this is what they hurting them to the heart. Isaiah 60:12, it say, for the nation and the kingdom that will not serve shall surely perish. Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted. So if the so-called white man don't want to go into slavery, he going into slavery. That's going to be where he at. He going to be in the cotton field. He going to be in the kitchen. He going to be in the... Let's go to Isaiah 61. Because it spells it out perfect. Isaiah 61:5, it say, and strangers shall stand and feed your flocks. See, who going to be feeding the flocks? Because you got goats, sheep. You got all these animals that need to be tended to. Well, when the so-called pandemic happened, you had the people couldn't be around each other. So now you don't have nobody. Now you don't have nobody to kill the animal, process the animal. So you having major problems because you need people to. If you're gonna eat meat, you need people to process these animals. See, we gonna have these Edomites and these so-called Chinese people, the Moabites, the Japanese, the Ammonites. We gonna have the Arab, the Ishmaelites, the Persians, the Elam. See, we gonna have these Hamites. We gonna have them processing our meat with our flocks, feeding them, making sure they healthy. Whatever they got to be. He said, feed your flocks. They should stand and feed your flocks, so they got to eat. So when we gonna eat, we gonna have feast days. So when those feast days come out and we eating lamb and goats, who gonna feed those lambs and goats that we gonna be eating in abundance? Now, say we don't eat animals no more, we go back to the food, but that's gonna contradict the whole situation. We gonna be eating animals. We gonna be eating lambs and goats. Now it says, and strangers shall stand and feed your flocks, and the sons of the alien shall be your plowmen and your vine dressers. So the grapevine, the cherries, the blueberries, the raspberries, the strawberries, the oranges, the apples, the bananas, all these fruits that grow on the vine, that grow on the tree, that's who's gonna be tending to them. They're gonna be making them, helping them to grow. See, they're gonna be tending to all these things. Just like we was in the cotton field, we were picking cotton, we were picking tobacco, whatever crop that these people was valuable to the so-called white man, whatever crop that was valuable to the nation of Edom, we was in the field collecting these things. Okay, look at verse 6. This is Isaiah 61 still. Verse 6, he say, but ye shall be named the priests of the Lord. Men shall call you the ministers of our God. Ye shall eat the riches of the Gentiles, and in their glory shall ye boast yourselves. So we gonna be boasting. See, we gonna let it be known, y'all some heathen and y'all finna serve. And if you don't serve, you're going to get punished. See, they ain't going to be robots. We going to let them know. You going to serve. Just like they told us, you going to get in that cotton field and you going to pick that cotton. You going to get in that tobacco field, you going to pick that tobacco. You ain't got no choice. See, they ain't, oh, I ain't going to pick the... As soon as you come up to the white man and say some mess like that, you done saw the slave movie. You getting your back beat in. After they beat your back in, if you're a woman, they might take your goodies. And if you're a man, they might take your goodies also. And if you keep on bucking, they might put one rope on one leg, or put two ropes on both of your legs and ropes on your hand, and tie them onto the horses and rip your behind into shreds. That's the kind of stuff the so-called white man would do to your behind if you talking about you ain't gonna serve him. They're like, nah, if you don't serve the so-called white man, you gonna be on the corner riding on a bicycle with dirty clothes looking a hot mess. You gonna be up under some bridge sleeping. See, that's why I say if you don't work, you don't eat. And you gotta eat to survive, man. The same way, these dragons, you gonna work or die. That's what it ain't gonna be no vote or die. It's gonna be work or die. You serve or die. And so that's the fate for these other nations. They're not gonna go unpunished. Let's read that one more time, because they love to think that they're gonna get unpunished, man. I don't know how they come up with this conclusion. Jeremiah 25 and 29. For lo, I began to bring evil on the city which is called by my name. And should ye be utterly unpunished? Ye shall not be unpunished. For I will call a sword upon all the inhabitants of the earth. Everybody got to get it. Not just the Israelites with oppression, being oppressed. You see, everybody got to get it. And a lot of them gonna get it when he first come back, because he coming back with anger. Let's get Isaiah 66. See, Isaiah, man, he had a spirit on him, boy. Isaiah 66 and 15, it say, for behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. 16. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. See, these nations gonna get it, boy. These nations is not gonna get away with nothing. They thinking they gonna get away. See, that's something in their little mind. They thinking that they gonna get away, and it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Look at Zechariah 12 and 9. It say, and it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem. So if you come against the Israelites, if you come against the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, that's the descendants of the Israelites, you is going to be destroyed by the Most High. You going into slavery, or you going to be destroyed. Now I'm going to leave it there. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem and Kakadash. Double honor to the elders pushing the truth. Peace of the elect worldwide. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.